Hey, DelVecchio here from websiteprofitcourse.com, and I want to go into a couple ways that you can spot a bad freelancing client. It's not always easy to do up front in your initial conversations, but once you start working with somebody, some trends are going to emerge. The first one, which I've found almost everyone deals with their first handful of clients, is that projects drag on beyond a deadline, or maybe you don't have a deadline and it just goes on indefinitely. This could be due to a couple things. It could be the client not getting you what you need. You tell them you need XYZ and they don't follow up on that. They may not be responsive. It could take them days or weeks for them to reply to you if you send an email or give them a call or text message. Another common thing is that they might not be sure of what they want. They might flip-flop on what they want included if you're doing a website, features or pages that they want on there, and they start requesting things outside of the initial project scope. The second thing that I've found with clients is that they expect some type of magical short-term results. They're not long-term focused. A client like this might go from service provider to service provider. They jump from one person to another, thinking that there's some magic bullet, that they're going to hire somebody that's going to bring them immediate results. When that happens, they're the type of people that don't look inward. They don't blame themselves. They are going to immediately try and blame you if something doesn't go right. Another part of this could be somebody that's just a little bit naive. They don't know a lot about business. They might be beginners with business, either doing a side project. Maybe it's a friend that you're building a website for, and they have this side project idea. They know you have the skills to put it together. They think that's going to be their, ticket to paradise. They're going to be quitting their job in 6 months, making $100,000. Or in my case, I've dealt with home service contractors that have worked with a bigger company, and then they just set up their LLC. They get started in business, and they think that putting up a website is going to immediately bring them 10 or 20 new leads every single month. And it doesn't happen that way. You really need to build your business online over time and have that long-term brand building approach. That kind of brings me to my next point, which is that bad clients normally don't have attention to detail. On the flip side, my best clients, they care about every bit of information that's on the website. They care about the headlines, the pictures, having video on there, slogans, reviews, and bad clients really don't care about that. They just want a website up there and they think that it doesn't matter what's on the site. They don't have to show their face. They don't need real reviews. They just think that, Google's gonna magically send them traffic. Now there's a couple other ways that you can look into this attention to detail. For the niche that I work with, home service contractors, take a look at whether they have pictures of their trucks, lawn signs. If they don't have lawn signs or they have unmarked trucks that are dirty, unorganized, chances are they're not going to be the type of person that wants to build a real big business. They are just one-man operations that are looking to make a living. My best clients, their trucks are pristine. They take them to get the car washed every single week. They have really clear logos on their phone number. They all wear logo t-shirts or polo shirts when they're on a job. Those are the little things that the business beginners overlook and that they don't want to invest into. And lastly, bad clients, they don't want to do the difficult things. Like I just said, they might not want to invest in things that they don't think are going to bring them immediate results. They're not willing to test. If you give them advice, they might ignore that advice or think that it's not going to work. A common thing that I hear from my clients is that it's really hard to get reviews online. They probably ask, 4 or 5 people after doing a job over the course of a month, and none of them leave a review online and they think it's impossible. At this point, they might want to fake reviews. I always tell them that you have to generate real reviews, and on top of that, you got to build in the process of asking. Make sure that your salespeople are doing that with every new client after a project. Send something in the mail afterwards, some type of mailer. You might want to incentivize it by running some type of gift card. Every single month you give a gift card for something. Put them on an email list. Send them an email with a link to review on Google or Facebook. You have to follow up. You have to be persistent. Otherwise, you're not going to get the reviews online and you're not going to get the same traction in Google that you would otherwise. They may not want to write about their company story. If you're a family-owned business, you should kind of talk about how that was started, who started the business, whether maybe it was your dad, you're running it, you have the next generation, your kids are going to run it. That's the type of thing people like to hear about, as opposed to just seeing a generic, bullet point list of website copy that doesn't have any of that information, that just says, we're professionals at roofing or kitchen remodeling. That might not sell somebody the same way a good story would. And frankly, there's probably some specialty you have or something you do differently. You want to highlight whatever separates you from your competitors. So for an example, one of my best clients, they have on their website that they don't smoke on the premises, which that's a common thing with contractors. A lot of contractors are taking cigarette breaks. Another client would give out his home address. You know, a lot of contractors are shady, so he would just put, you know, here's where I live, you know, you can trust me. And that really won over a couple clients. I didn't think it was that big of a deal when I first put it on the website, because he always emphasized to me that he wanted it on there. And then one time I met him on a job site, and the homeowner came out and talked to us, and he said that's really what sold him on the company and what made him pick up the phone to call him. And I think that's the big thing to realize when it comes to sales. A lot of people are going to have different objections, and you really need to address every single one of them within the website copy and, you know, ways that you can build trust through the website and through the other outlets, social media, places where you can leave reviews online. You need to be proactive with doing that, or else you're not going to get the most out of an online web presence. So that's all I got for this video. One thing that I like to do with potential clients is go through a client questionnaire with them. Make sure I'm asking these questions so I can get as much of this information up front to avoid any potential problems down the road. I'll include a link to that in the description below if you want to download a copy of that web design client questionnaire. Last but not least, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more web design freelancing videos and WordPress tutorials. If you have any experience with freelancing work, let me know, any good signs or bad signs that you found from clients. I'm sure that if you've done any work, you've probably dealt with more bad clients than good ones. About 20% of the clients are great, 80% of them are bad. Depending on which order you deal with them, you may think that freelancing is horrible, not worth it. But I find that once you get one really good client, they kind of show you the path and realize that there's a lot more opportunity out there than you think. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this whole video, and I hope you join me in the next one.